Fox News. Breaking news.
$500 million. That's how much the Trump Justice Department just clawed back from criminals who've been robbing you blind. And folks, it's only Wednesday. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just dropped a bombshell announcement that should have every fraudster in America shaking in their boots. Healthcare scammers, COVID grifters, and the parasites who've been draining taxpayer dollars for years are finally facing the reckoning they deserve. President Trump promised to drain the swamp and protect your hard-earned money. What you're about to hear proves he's delivering like no other president in history. Are you ready to see what real justice looks like? You see, this isn't just about numbers. This is your money. Every dollar these criminals stole came straight out of programs that were supposed to help sick Americans, vulnerable seniors, and hardworking families who need COVID relief. Think about that. $160 million stolen through healthcare enrollment fraud. Another $100 million swiped through fake COVID claims. These weren't victimless crimes. They drove up your insurance premiums. They drained Medicare and Medicaid dry. They took resources away from hospice patients in their final days on this earth. And for years, the previous administration let it happen. They were too busy weaponizing the DOJ against political opponents to actually protect American taxpayers. But now there's a new sheriff in town. The Trump administration is not playing games. They've got over 8,000 fraud cases underway right now, and they're only getting started. Every American who plays by the rules, who pays their taxes, who works hard, well, you should be celebrating today. And speaking of protecting yourself and your family from threats you can't control, let me ask you something very important. If a major disruption happened tomorrow and you couldn't get to the store, how long could you actually survive on what's in your house right now? A week? Maybe 2? If it's anything less than a month, then you need to check out our friends at My Patriot Supply. They're America's #1 preparedness company with over 3 million satisfied customers who refuse to be caught off guard. And right now, when you go to preparewithgary.com, their best-selling 4-week emergency food supply comes with an additional week of food absolutely free. It's 5 weeks of peace of mind. Look, we just talked about billions being stolen from Americans. Don't let a crisis catch your family unprepared. Go to preparewithgary.com today. It's linked below, and take control of your family's future. Now let me tell you about the devastating weapon President Trump just unleashed on all of these criminals. Yes, here's what the mainstream media is not telling you. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just announced the creation of something called the National Fraud Enforcement Division. It's not some reshuffling of bureaucrats. This is a fraud-fighting army. 93 elite prosecutors are being deployed to every single district across America. Blanche called it a comprehensive and coordinated approach unlike anything the DOJ has ever attempted. With over $1 trillion at stake every year from sophisticated fraudsters, President Trump is finally treating this threat with the seriousness it deserves. So let's take a look at exactly what they're targeting. We have this tweet from Nick Sortor. Over $500 million in healthcare and COVID fraud taken down by the DOJ in this week alone. Listen to this.
Every day, Department of Justice investigators and prosecutors work to punish those who commit fraud. For example, just this week, and it's only Tuesday, a criminal defendant was sentenced and the department obtained 2 additional guilty pleas in matters totaling over $500 million in healthcare and COVID fraud. If you think about that, just since yesterday, we had a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare enrollment fraud scheme and a sentencing in a $100 million COVID-19 fraud and a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare fraud scheme as well. Each of these cases represents countless hours of dedication from the prosecutors and the federal agents and local law enforcement who work them. The Department of Justice is holding criminals accountable for stealing over $500 million from taxpayers. And across our U.S. attorney's offices all over this country, we currently have over 8,000 fraud matters underway.
8,000. The Department of Justice hitting fraudsters hard, recovering $500 million from their scams. But what about the hospice fraud? Listen.
CBS has done a lot of reporting on hospice fraud specifically. What are you doing to clamp down on that? Who exactly are you targeting? Doctors, owners, when it comes to hospice fraud specifically?
Yes. Exactly. I mean, everybody that participates in it. I mean, you see that fraud is the question was about hospice fraud. And that's the purest form of stealing from the American people's pockets, in that it is a lot of money designed to help the most vulnerable among us. And so, who are we prosecuting? It depends on who's committing the crime. If it's the doctor, it's the doctor. If it's the hospital organization itself, fine. If it's the families of the patient, fine.
The commitment to obliterate fraud is unwavering, and now the DOJ is upping the ante with its new National Fraud Enforcement Division. Now you're going to learn how they're bolstering their team to stop the fraudsters in their tracks.
This isn't new for this department. We have a storied history of combating fraud and bringing criminal actors to justice. But the department has never adopted a comprehensive and coordinated approach to investigating and prosecuting fraud against taxpayer dollars and taxpayer-funded programs. With over $1 trillion at stake every single year, threatened by increasingly sophisticated and opportunistic fraudsters, the time for this comprehensive and coordinated approach is now. And so today, I'm proud to announce in greater detail the creation of the National Fraud Enforcement Division. Its core mission will be to zealously investigate and prosecute those who steal taxpayer dollars and rip off the American people. Our vision is to build a robust fraud-fighting squad capable of investigating and prosecuting the full spectrum of fraud against taxpayer dollars. We are going to staff this division by some of the department's best prosecutors, bringing together experts in healthcare fraud, tax fraud, benefits fraud, and corporate fraud under one roof with one mission: to protect the American people from fraud. Every U.S. Attorney's Office across the country will also be joining this re-energized fight against fraud. This means, in pure numbers, that there will be an additional 93 prosecutors in every district across the country devoted to the mission of combating fraud with the National Fraud Enforcement Division.
Oh my goodness. We currently have over 8,000 fraud matters underway. Just a fraction of the fraud ripping off our country. Now, you heard it. A reporter asked him directly who they're going after with the hospice fraud. Specifically, his answer was chilling. For every criminal watching, quote, everybody that participates in it, end quote. Doctors, prosecutors, hospital owners, prosecutors, even family members of patients if they're in on the scam. They're all going down. See, this is what happens when you have leadership that actually cares about protecting Americans instead of protecting the swamp. The Trump DOJ, they're not picking favorites. They're not protecting politically connected criminals. They're going after everyone who steals from the American people, period. This is the accountability that we promised. This is the accountability that we voted for, and President Trump is delivering it. So what you witnessed today is President Trump keeping another massive promise. $500 million recovered in just 2 days. A brand new fraud enforcement division with 93 prosecutors hunting down every criminal who thinks they can steal from you. And a clear message that no one is above the law when it comes to ripping off American taxpayers. This is what America First governance looks like. This is what happens when you elect a president who fights for you instead of the swamp creatures. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think other administrations would have had the guts to go this hard after healthcare and COVID fraud, yes or no? Drop your answer below and let's get the conversation going. And since you made it to the end of the video, a special gift from me to you. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how we bypass the algorithm. That's how you get the notifications directly from me when YouTube fails you. So, if you want to show your support for this kind of justice, check out the Next News merch shop just below this video and share this video with everybody who needs to see that Trump is delivering results. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.